Hi students, we will discuss about the mass phase of our national movement. 1916 to 1947, that period, that is known as the mass phase of Indian national movement. In this mass phase, we can notice the emergence of a new leader, that was Mahatma Gandhi. Under his leadership, Indians conducted three mass movements such as non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement and Quit India movement. So first mass movement, that was non-cooperation movement, started in the year 1920 and ended in the year 1922. Non-cooperation, first movement, first mass agitation under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. We all know that non-cooperation meaning not to cooperate. What is the meaning of non-cooperation movement? Non-cooperation movement means withdrawal of all kinds of support and cooperation to the British government. That is, not to cooperate with the evil doer. Who was the evil doer here? British. So Gandhiji suggested we should not cooperate with the British in any sense. We have to withdraw all kinds of cooperation and support to the British government. That is what meant by non-cooperation. So non-cooperation movement was a way of protest in which one does not cooperate with the evil doer. Non-cooperation movement was a way of protest in which Indians withdrew all kinds of support and cooperation to the British government. So it is clear the meaning of the non-cooperation movement. Now the next areas we have to study under this are the causes led to the non-cooperation movement, the program of the non-cooperation movement, the suspension of the non-cooperation movement, and lastly the impact of the non-cooperation movement. Yes, what were the causes led to the non-cooperation movement or other reasons? Three main causes. What were they? Khilafat movement of 1919, Rowlatt Act of 1919 and Jallianwala Bagh massacre. These were the three causes which led to the non-cooperation movement. So the first one, Khilafat movement. What was Khilafat movement? Khilafat movement was an agitation conducted by the Indian Muslims against the British in India in the year 1919 due to the humiliation shown to the Sultan of Turkey by the British during the First World War. You know that 1914 First World War broke out and the war was fought between two rival camps, Triple Entente, Triple Alliance. Turkey was on the side of Germany and fought against Britain. And in the war, Turkey was defeated and Caliph was dethroned. His empire, large Turkish empire, was disintegrated and Caliph was humiliated. Humiliation to the Caliph of Turkey was considered as a humiliation to the whole Muslims in the world because Caliph was considered as a religious leader or religious head. Not only a political leader but also a religious head of the Muslim world. When he was humiliated, Indian Muslims also felt humiliated. So they conducted an agitation against the British in India. Who were the leaders of Khilafat movement? The leaders of Khilafat movement were Ali brothers, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, two brothers, Muslim brothers. It was under their leadership this agitation was conducted in our country, and they were supported by some other leaders. Hakim Ajmal Khan, Maulana Azad, many Muslims were supported, but the main leaders were Ali brothers, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. When they conducted Khilafat movement, Gandhiji saw it an opportunity to unite the Hindus and Muslims, asked Indian National Congress to support the Khilafat agitation. And Congress agreed, and Gandhiji asked the leaders of Khilafat movement to conduct Khilafat non-cooperation movement. And another reason, that was the Rowlatt Act of 1919. It was an act passed by the British government in order to curb the growing upsurge in the country, because nationalism was very tense in our country, and in order to absorb the growing nationalism in our country, Rowlatt Act was passed. It was passed as per the recommendation of Justice Rowlatt, who was the law member of the Viceroy's Executive Council. And this act gave lot of powers to the British government. This act had some features or the clauses. That is why Indians reacted against this act. This act implied the British government to arrest anybody without warrant, imprison the Indians without a trial or camera trial, trial in seclusion. Then suspension of habeas corpus. We know habeas corpus, arrested person's right to defend himself. That is habeas corpus. That was suspended. Freedom of movement was curtailed through Rowlatt Act. That means totally Indians' freedom was curtailed by the British through the Rowlatt Act. Arrest of a person without warrant, imprison the people without a trial or follow camera trial, no open trial, suspension of habeas corpus, restriction of the movement of individuals. Then how the Indians could tolerate it? Then Mahatma Gandhi appealed to the Viceroy to stop the act, but Viceroy was not ready to hear Gandhiji's request. So against this Rowlatt Act, Gandhiji started Satyagraha in our country, Rowlatt Satyagraha in April 1919. Very important Satyagraha against Rowlatt Act. Then lastly, Jallianwala Bagh massacre, that we all know. This incident, tragedy, was happened in Amritsar district in Punjab, where a peaceful protest meeting was held by the Indians against the arrest of two prominent leaders, Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu and Dr. Satyapal. Very peaceful protest meeting, because martial law was implied in Punjab as per the Rowlatt Act. So protest meeting, everything were banned, but the Indians conducted the meeting. And this garden, Jallianwala Bagh, is known as a garden, and it is only one exit, very narrow exit. When the protest meeting was going on, General Dyer, who was in charge of military in Punjab, Amritsar district, arrived there with his police force. And what did that cruel man do? He closed the only exit of the back, and he surrounded his troops and ordered them to fire at the people. And police fired at the mob till the ammunitions were exhausted. What a cruel act did by the British over the Indians. Thousands of people were killed because they could not escape. The exit was closed. There was a well in the garden. Many jumped into the well, and large number of people were wounded. and our nation was totally shocked as a result of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. It made Gandhiji to take an immediate decision to start a protest movement against the British. Immediately, Congress session, special session was held, and a non-cooperation resolution was adopted by INC, and under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, Indians started non-cooperation movement. Thank you, children.